Behind the silk curtain, power, marriage, and the concubine's bargain. This is not a story about love. It never was. This is a story about structure, about hierarchy, about the quiet agreements women inherit long before they ever speak their first vow. If you believe that becoming a concubine makes you clever, if you believe secrecy is your power, then this episode is for you. Because in aristocratic societies, nothing is accidental. Not marriage, not desire, and certainly not you. The legal wife is not blind. She was educated for this life long before you arrived. She watched her great-grandmother preside over dinners while her husband maintained another household. She watched her grandmother do the same. She watched her mother accept it with composure, because composure is inheritance. By the time she married, she already knew a man may have women, but property never does. Tonight we will talk about why concubinage was never rebellion, but compliance, and what it truly costs to climb into a world that was not built for you. A concubine is rarely a surprise. She is a clause that was simply never written aloud. Do not think you are stealing him. Do not imagine that the wife is unaware. In the gilded echelons of society, men of status do not act without approval. Their choices are not their own, they are reflections of a dynasty's will, guided by the unseen hand of the patriarch and the rigid expectations of their lineage. This is a world built on precedent, where deviation is not just frowned upon, it is a threat to the entire structure. Every decision, from business ventures to personal liaisons, is weighed against the preservation of power and the continuation of a name. Freedom is a luxury they cannot afford, a concept traded for the heavy mantle of responsibility. Their lives are a performance, and the script has been written for them long before they were born. A role they must play to perfection, lest the entire house of cards come tumbling down. Within this framework, marriage contracts were not mere documents. They were treaties, strategic alliances forged to consolidate wealth and secure bloodlines. And these treaties often included allowances, spoken or unspoken, for other women. A discreet apartment in a fashionable district, a regular stipend, a jeweler's account. These were not signs of a clandestine affair, but calculated expenses, managed with the same dispassion as any other household budget item. The arrangement provides an outlet, a pressure valve for the man bound by duty, ensuring the primary union remains stable and productive. Silence from the wife does not mean ignorance. It signifies a pragmatic understanding of the terms. The husband may smile at you, may whisper promises, may make you feel chosen. He will praise your beauty, your wit, your spirit. Everything he claims is missing from his life. He offers a fantasy of escape, a world away from his obligations. But the truth is already known to the household. The butler who arranges your carriage, the maid who draws your bath, the accountant who signs the check, they all know your role. You are not a secret to be kept, but a line item to be managed. You are an arrangement, a carefully managed and temporary diversion, your presence sanctioned by the very system you believe you are defying. His wife knows as well. Do not mistake her composure for naivete. Upper-class women were not taught romance. They were taught stability, strategy, and survival. Their education was in management, of a household, of social standing, and of a husband's predictable indiscretions. Her domain was the family's future, the children's prospects, the unblemished reputation. A husband's dalliance was a minor variable to be controlled, not a heartbreak to be endured. It is a distraction that keeps him placated, leaving her free to govern the things that truly matter. Her gaze is not one of jealousy, but of assessment. She is the true chief executive of this family enterprise, the silent power behind the throne. For in this world, love was optional, a fleeting and often inconvenient emotion. Legacy was not. It was the only currency with enduring value. From childhood, they observed the patterns. They saw the great-grandfather with his women. They saw the grandfather maintain discreet households. They saw their father repeat the cycle. Jealousy was considered vulgar. Power was retained without affection. Mistresses often mistook tolerance for weakness, not realizing it was strategy. This is the world you are entering. Not a world of passion, but a world of precision. For some women, concubinage was not shameful. It was strategic. Strategy, however, requires accurate information. And this is where many fail. Not every man of status owns his power. Some merely borrow it from their wives. Before you commit, before you entangle your future with a name that echoes through generations, you must conduct your own silent, meticulous audit. This is not a matter of romance. It is a matter of survival and strategy. The society pages and public relations statements are carefully constructed illusions. Your task is to see behind the curtain. Ask yourself the questions that are never spoken aloud in polite company, for the answers will determine whether you ascend or are merely consumed. Who truly controls the estate? This is your first and most critical inquiry. Not just who lives in the grandest house, but who holds the deeds. Who signs the accounts that fuel the family's empire? Who holds the keys to the vaults, both physical and digital? Who sits on the boards of the family trusts and foundations, deciding the flow of fortunes when the family name is invoked? Look for the name that appears again and again on the incorporation papers, the one whose signature is required to liquidate an asset or establish a new venture. This is the center of gravity. All other power is merely gravitational pull. Observe carefully. The difference between real wealth and mere decoration is subtle, but fatal if misunderstood. Decoration is the lavish party, the priceless art on the walls, the name that opens doors. Real wealth is the authority to sell that art, to cancel the party, to lock those doors permanently. Decoration is a generous allowance. Real wealth is control of the source of that allowance. Do not enter blindly, dazzled by the gilded surface. The shine is designed to distract you from the mechanics of the machine that polishes it. Understand this fundamental truth. A concubine without financial leverage is not elevated. She is a temporary amusement, a fleeting accessory. Her position is contingent on charm and youth, both of which are finite. Without a stake in the assets, without her name on a deed or a trust, she is merely a guest, and all guests must eventually leave. Her security is an illusion, built on the shifting sands of another's affection. When that affection wanes, or a more strategic alliance presents itself, she will find her belongings packed and the locks changed. She is temporary. This principle applies equally to men. Some are only the handsome ornaments of their wealthy wives. They are celebrated in portraits, displayed at galas, and given titles on company letterhead, but their authority is borrowed, a performance sanctioned by the true power. They may wield a voice in minor matters, but when a crisis comes, when the foundations are threatened, you will see them retreat to the background. Their signature is a formality, not a requirement. Their power can be revoked as easily as a line of credit. They are not partners in the dynasty, they are its most elegant employees. History is filled with such figures, prince consorts and favored husbands who enjoyed the splendor but never held the scepter. They exist to complete a picture, to provide an heir, to manage the social calendar. But they do not and cannot make the decisions that shape the family's destiny. To mistake this role for true partnership is to build your house on a stage, which will be struck the moment the play is over. Observe who truly holds the power. Observe who commands loyalty from the servants, who controls the ledger, who remains unshaken when crises arrive. Your comfort, your influence, and even your survival may depend upon understanding this hierarchy. The hierarchy is not enforced by men alone. Women guard it carefully. Wives, concubines, servants, each knows her place. Conflict is discouraged. Tact is law. Cooperation with power is survival, even when it wounds. The wife rarely confronts directly. She does not need to. Exclusion is subtle. Invitations vanish. Access narrows. Courtesy becomes distance. And the concubine learns the sharpest lesson of all. Her existence is tolerated, never permanent. If you still wish to enter this world, do so without illusion. This is not a fairy tale, and you are not its heroine. The gilded cage is still a cage, and its comforts are conditional. Its beauty a temporary distraction from the cold mechanics of power that operate beneath the surface. The silks you wear, the jewels you are given, they are not gifts, but a uniform. They mark you as property, a beautiful, well-kept possession. Understand that the affection offered is a currency, not a promise. It is a salary for a service, and like any employment, it can be terminated without notice, without severance. Your role is to be an escape, a fantasy. The moment you introduce the complexities of real emotion or need, you have broken the terms of your unwritten contract. Do not believe you are special because you are chosen. Countless others were considered and dismissed. You were selected because you fit a particular need at a particular moment. A pleasant diversion, a youthful ornament, a temporary balm for a restless ego. Your selection was a transaction, carefully calculated by more than just the man himself. His advisors, his family, even his wife may have had a silent hand in the matter, deeming you a manageable, non-threatening choice. You are not a rare jewel discovered, but a piece of fine porcelain, acquired to complement an existing collection. When a new style is favored, or the porcelain chips, through a public misstep, a sign of aging, or simple boredom, it will be replaced. The process is swift, clinical, and final. Therefore, you must be pragmatic. Ask who holds the money. Not just the man who summons you, but the family trust that governs his inheritance, the matriarch who controls the household accounts. These are the true architects of your reality. His personal generosity is a whim. Their financial structures are law. Follow the flow of gold, for it is the true lifeblood of this world. It dictates alliances, secures loyalty, and funds every luxury you will be permitted to enjoy. Learn to read the ledgers of the heart as you would a financial statement. Who is indebted to whom? Who is a liability? Who is an asset? Ask who owns the land. Property is permanence. It is legacy and lineage, passed down through bloodlines secured by marriage contracts. The villa where you reside may be opulent, but you are a tenant on a very short lease. The true seat of power is the ancestral estate, the soil from which the family draws its name and its authority. That land represents history, a history in which you are a footnote at best. You will never have a claim to that soil. Your presence is written in disappearing ink, while their ownership is carved in stone. And most importantly, ask who will remain when affection expires, because it will. Passion cools, novelty fades, and duty reasserts itself with the force of a tidal wave. When the whispers of romance are silenced by the weight of responsibility, a financial crisis, a political necessity, a child's marriage, who holds the unassailable position? Who is weatherproofed against the storms of his changing moods and fortunes? It will not be you. The wife was trained for permanence. Her position is not built on the shifting sands of desire, but on the bedrock of law, alliance, and inheritance. She is not a person, she is an institution. Her value is in the heirs she provides and the social stability she represents. She is a partner in the dynasty, a co-signer on the family's legacy. She can weather his infidelities because she knows they are fleeting, whereas her role is foundational. She is the anchor. You are merely a decorative sail, beautiful but ultimately expendable. You must decide if you can endure this. Can you cultivate a different kind of permanence? One of financial independence, of quiet influence, of securing a future for yourself that exists beyond the walls of his patronage. This requires a fortitude far greater than that required for love. It demands the discipline of a spy, the financial acumen of a banker, and the emotional detachment of a surgeon. History is not cruel. It is precise. It is a ledger of accounts, meticulously kept. Every action has a consequence, every choice a cost. Every indulgence granted to you is an entry, a debt that will one day be called due. The system is designed to correct imbalances, and your very presence is an imbalance. And precision favors those who understand the rules before they play. It rewards the strategist, not the romantic. So enter with your eyes open, your heart guarded, and your mind ruthlessly clear. Learn the language of power, which is spoken not in poetry, but in contracts, deeds, and wills. Your survival depends not on being loved, but on being indispensable in ways they have not yet foreseen. Become a source of information, a discreet manager of his less savory affairs, a silent partner in his ambitions. Play the game to win your own security, not his heart. That is the only victory available to you here. Secure your exit before you even make your entrance.